Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Don't waste any time. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.17 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is sitting even right now. And Bitcoin is 59,100 plus, 2,500 plus for Ethereum, 118 billion plus market cap for Tether, a $34 billion plus market cap for USDC. XRP at the number 7 spot at 56 cents, up 2.5 on the 24, off by 4.2 on the 7-day. The range of price between 55 and 57 cents. It's moving a little bit. Lots of orders going out today. So I don't know what's happening, but look at this chart here. I mean, people are buying, baby, but we're ranging between about 2 cents. And it's a little more, it's a little wider than we normally see. So is XRP going out for a jog today? I don't know, but I wouldn't be upset if it did. I do want to start with this, and I touched this over the weekend, and you'll see very soon why I'm touching it again. Elon Musk highlights Starlink is the only high bandwidth internet system that covers all of Earth. It will probably deliver over 90% of all space-based internet traffic next year. As of August, there are 6,350 Starlink satellites in orbit, of which 6,290 are working, according to astronomer Jonathan McDowell. So, again, I talked about this over the weekend very quickly here. Look, if you want to keep these countries and these different leaders, and I'm speaking about domestically as well, in check to where they can't shut us all off, because they're clearly going after free speech now en masse. Look at what's happening with Elon Musk in Brazil right now. Look at what's happening domestically at home when Mark Zuckerberg is scared to death he's going to lose his political cover, because if the administration loses this election, he's already confessed to the weaponization and coordination and collusion with the United States government over the work on Facebook, over COVID, and a federal election with a presidential election. So that is treasonous right there, and we'll see what comes of it, but you have to have a new system in place to begin to know that these people can be accountable and they can't flip the switch on free speech. We must fight together. We don't have to have the same reasons to fight for the same cause. And get ready, ladies and gentlemen, because not only is Starlink up and running, XTV app is now live on Android TVs. How about that? It's available on LG, Amazon Fire TV, and Google TV, with more integrations coming soon. I say get ready for Super App X. Remember, they only need like 14 more payment licenses to have the entire continental U.S. wrapped up. They've got 36, I believe, so far. So big stuff coming. Big stuff coming. And wait till you see what we see. This here is a question brought up by Black Swan Capitalists. I know myself and Digital Asset Investor have talked about this periodically over the years as well. Elon Musk's connection to Ripple is no secret. It's always been part of a larger narrative. Remember, Elon and Peter Thiel are from the PayPal Mafia. And they backed OneCoin, which got rebranded as OpenCoin, and then became Ripple under Chris Larson's guidance. Are they still connected? It'll be interesting to see when it becomes a payment app. Michael Branch, give him a follow. He's an OG. And crypto is crooked, he says. Banking giant prepares for $3 billion fine over role in massive money laundering scheme. Are you kidding me? TD Bank. And crypto's crooked, according to Elizabeth Warren. Oh, but we're not done with you yet. No. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. The Fed suddenly brace for a U.S. dollar crisis that's predicted to spark. Oh, boy. Isn't this what we've been talking about? Serious $40,000 Bitcoin price crash warning issued as the Fed suddenly braces for a U.S. dollar crisis that's predicted to spark a total collapse. Isn't this what we've been talking about? And if you've been with me for a long time, you know that I said the pandemic was absolutely a pricing in of the bankruptcy of the United States of America and the world, if you want to go ahead and be straight about it. That's what we're talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about as far as I'm concerned. And what I look at this, what I see is that kicking the can down the road, which should have happened back around the time of the pandemic, is now being pushed to the moment we're in today. And going into this, we know, and anybody in the space been for any time knows that the dollar going up, the dollar strength pushes assets and crypto down. Dollar weakness pushes assets and crypto up. So a collapse of the dollar could push assets up. However, be careful what you wish for. Because I would like to see crypto go up because of mainstream adoption, and the dollar crisis be averted because of mainstream adoption of digital asset technology. That's what my hope is. So I'm not on the sideline cheering any of this. So, but nevertheless, it's a reality we're staring us right in the face here. Now, the researchers warn that it's possible Bitcoin price crash to send Bitcoin under $40,000 if the Federal Reserve follows through with its well-telegraphed plans for interest rate cuts during September meeting. This volatility is often attributed to the end of summer trading lull, and as fund managers return from vacation, home-driven trading activity increases. The anticipated rate cut in September adds another layer of complexity, potentially exacerbating the market's volatility. This historical price action for September also aligns with our view that projected 20% drop in Bitcoin prices following a rate cut. However, it's worth noting that historical trends also show that when August ends in the red, September occasionally defied expectations and delivered positive returns. This could provide a counter-argument to the assumption that September will be necessarily a bearish month for Bitcoin. So we'll have to see how that correlates, because we now have spot ETFs for Bitcoin. So you have to say, how does that new product impact the historical data that we've seen since Bitcoin and crypto's inception? We'll have to see. But nonetheless, there are problems in front of us in the traditional markets, in the monetary system. We know this, especially in the XRP community. Here's a clip I want to play for you very quickly of James Rickards 5 years ago, circa 2019, in an interview with Ron Paul. Jim basically predicts the future with insights to BRICS coalition and the fall of the U.S. dollar and what is taking place right now. Shout out to Mr. Big Time. Give him a follow.
Financial warfare is one of my specialties. I worked with the Pentagon. I facilitated the first ever financial war game in 2009. I've worked with the intelligence community, talked to the Treasury. So I do a lot in the area of financial warfare. Finances and money have always been some part of warfare. But what's new, Dr. Paul, is that finance can now be a very effective weapon by itself. You don't need to combine finance and kinetic warfare, bombs or missiles. You can just use finance as a weapon. We're doing it against Iran right now. We're doing it against North Korea right now. And it all hinges on the dollar, which a dollar is 60% of global reserves, 80% of global payments, and almost 100% of the energy markets. So if you cut off someone's access to dollars, it's like turning off the oxygen supply to a patient in intensive care. I mean, you know what's going to happen next. But we've been throwing our weight around. We've weaponized these things, and whether it's CFIUS, preventing foreign acquisitions of U.S. companies, tariffs, sanctions, freezing accounts, seizing accounts. We're doing it all through the dollar and the dollar payment system. Well, do you think, and this is your question, I'm asking this rhetorically, is the rest of the world just going to sit there and be, in effect, bullied by the United States? No, they're going to look for a way out. Now, it's not easy. There's no other currency, certainly not the Russian ruble or the Chinese yuan or even the euro, that's ready to step in and replace the dollar as the global reserve currency. But what about something completely new? And this is in the works. China and Russia have separately more than tripled their gold reserves in the last 10 years. Russia's gone from 600 tons to almost 2,300 tons. China's gone from 600 tons to almost 2,000 tons that we know of. They may have a lot more that we don't know of. And so why are they doing that? Are they stupid, or do they see something most people don't? Well, I guarantee you they're not stupid. I've spent a lot of time in Russia and China. They're not stupid. They're getting ready for a new global monetary system. Now, what they're developing, and I know a lot of people hate cryptocurrencies, and I'm one of them, but they're developing a new cryptocurrency on what's called a permissioned blockchain. So blockchain is the foundation technology of cryptocurrency. But
I want to very quickly interject here for those that don't know and haven't been around for a while. I have covered in depth a lecture that Jim Rickards gave, who is a gold bug, and he highlighted that Federated Byzantine Agreement and consensus is the best version of crypto and blockchain going, and I'm paraphrasing. However, for those that further don't understand, XRP Ledger is using Federated Byzantine Agreement and consensus.
Permissioned, what that means is that you can only use it if they say so. So it's like a club. It's like getting admitted to a club. So now all of a sudden you have this new crypto token called a Putin coin or Xi coin. You anchor it to something. Could be the IMF's SDR, the special drawing right. Could be a weight of gold. You anchor it to something so we all know what it's worth. And now you create a trading network. So who's in the network? Russia, China, Iran, Turkey, North Korea, and maybe you invite in some of the BRICS, Brazil, India, etc.
And now we have that. And this is 5 years ago, and Jim Rickards is nailing it. Because that's what we have, plus another 30 plus countries, and then another 100 plus countries that are looking to join BRICS. BRICS may, in fact, as Molly Elmore has said on this show, it may, in fact, become the new payment rails, and the United States could possibly join it at the end of this, because it is the United States that's the largest economy. It is the United States that their dollar nationally is serving as a world reserve currency. They have the most to lose. It would make sense in that regard if that were to happen, because it would be the United States telling the rest of the world, get on the new system, and then we will too. Because it wouldn't make sense for the largest economy with the most to lose to do it first and then watch the world not join. Meanwhile, Ripple CEO says Gary Gensler would be fired even if Kamala Harris wins. Well, here's the article here. Ripple CEO visits Korea, directly hits U.S. SEC chairman. Here's what it says here. If Harris is elected, will her term be guaranteed? I'm betting no. Democratic lawmakers, judges also criticize Gensler's fierce attack. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, American virtual asset issuer, who visited Korea, expressed discomfort with Gary Gensler from the SEC and had been embroiled in legal disputes, as we all know, for recent years. And on several occasions, a press conference held at the Grand Intercontinental Hotel. It says here, Garlinghouse said, even if Vice President Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party becomes the U.S. president in the upcoming U.S. presidential election in November, Chairman Gensler's term will not be guaranteed, and you could bet money on him leaving his position. He said, I've met with many key leaders of the Democratic and Republican parties, and even many Democratic lawmakers have expressed serious concerns about the SEC's excessive regulation of virtual assets. He also added, judges are also criticizing Chairman Gensler for using the term digital asset securities. Garlinghouse once again criticized Gensler, saying, as we have done in the past, we will continue to criticize those who act against the law and inconsistent with sound American policy. And that's what he had to say to him. Now, what I want to say to you guys is remind you of this coming up. Never forget, Harris will nominate Gensler as Treasury Secretary if elected. This was the scoop, and it's been rumored. Well, we have something for you. If Gensler were to be considered as the Treasury Secretary, I want you to listen to what Perry Ann Boring from the Digital Chamber says here. And shout out to Cody Carbone, who recently became president of the organization as well. Take a listen to what she says right here.
I've heard a lot of different things. So according to my sources inside the SEC, he's toying with the idea of stepping down from the chairmanship role into a commissioner role. And we're hearing he is entertaining that because he may not be able to get a job anywhere else because he's that unpopular. You know, there was this rumor floating around on the internet recently that Kamala Harris was considering nominating him to Treasury Secretary.
Right.
So we're hearing that actually was planted by Elizabeth Warren, who actually is the #1 nemesis. I think she's #1. Gary Gensler is more so just operating at her direction.
Where does one begin and the other end, though?
So, and we're hearing the reason why she did that is because they're then planning to do some polling on how did that announcement impact her base.
Who do you think would be a candidate for the chair position if Gensler were to step aside?
I actually have information on this that I'm not at liberty to share.
Good job, Paul, trying to get the answer. You know, I don't know what her answer is, but I know one thing. I'll tell you who I'd like to see. I'd like to see Honorable Chris Giancarlo become the chairman of the SEC because he had introduced futures contracts when he was the chairman of the CFTC. And he understands crypto to a great degree. He would absolutely unlock the log jam and help this country get back on track with the proper regulation for digital assets. Now, with that being said, look, I got to go back here 1 second here because this is the part I want you to know. Never forget, if Gary Gensler steps down from the SEC, it's because he wants the U.S. Treasury seat, which, by the way, would put Gary Gensler directly overseeing crypto if Harris wins. Check the math on this. We know that because Chuck Schumer said they could pass crypto legislation by the end of the year, that would put crypto under the Bank Secrecy Act. This would regulate all crypto as currency, and it would fall under Gensler if he becomes the U.S. Treasurer. Head on a swivel. If I'm lying, I'm dying. After long rejecting cryptos, the U.S. Treasury and the Federal Reserve are considering reclassifying cryptos as currency under the Bank Secrecy Act, make a decisive turning point in the U.S. regulatory approach to digital assets. So, if we see this come true, and he is nominated and placed as the likely nominate Gary Gensler as Treasury Secretary, he would be the nemesis to continue to oversee crypto. How sick and twisted is that? Strangely, Jim Cramer calls to get out from crypto while total market cap is talking differently, says Dark Defender. Total market cap of crypto, 2.17 right now. $2.17 trillion market cap for crypto. Strangely enough, Jim Cramer is calling for people to get out of crypto while the total market cap is talking differently. Only a few will survive and will handle $23 trillion by January 25. That's just 5 months away here. What? That's what the chart's showing him. He says, handle the $23 trillion by January 25. All the money in circulation, including colossal debt, by 2027. Here's the chart he's looking at. Look at it. The chart is showing you what the chart is showing you. Now, will it be less? Will it be more? I don't know. But imagine that we're sitting at 2.17 trillion today, and that it's, let's call it September, October, November, December, and by January, just 4 to 5 months from now, this market could be $23 trillion in size. How much of that would lie in the market cap of XRP? Oh my, oh my. And if they outlaw or push USD Tether outside of regulations and it doesn't fall under the Bank Secrecy Act, it would be non-compliant the way it is in the European Union right now. And then you have to wonder how much of the crypto market will continue to live and how much will suffocate and die. And then ask yourself, what's left if that were to happen of the market? Would it still be 20,000 coins, or would it be 10 or 5,000 or 1,600? I don't know. But whatever's left, you'd have to ask yourself, how much of that 23 trillion would lie in what remains? Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. You can follow us on digperspectives.com, click the Freedom Zone, and get all the daily videos with zero Google ads and extra content in the Freedom Zone that is censorship resistant inside of there. Or you could join the DPMG, and I am about to close that window soon. I'm about to close it. If you want to be in a DPMG, you get the Freedom Zone for free, as well as an incredible group of like-minded individuals, a private weekly call, and we are working on not only growing our wealth, but protecting and maintaining it. And right now, we are doing a case study following me opening up a trust and learning how to protect and maintain your wealth for you and your family, as well as if you're interested in learning how to use XRP Ledger, automated market makers, and things like that, this is the place for you, and you get the Freedom Zone for free. I'll catch all of you on the next one. Not financial advice from me or anyone else.